This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
This past weekend was the Conservative Political Action Conference, hosted by Matt Schlapp, CPAC, in Texas. And it really is a parade of nincompoopery, if you will. It is the highlight of conservative ding-dongs all over the country, and it is a showcase of their talent. Which is to say, lack of talent. The bench isn't real deep for the Republican Party. Of course, Donald Trump was the headliner. I'm going to do a video talking about some of the things he talked about later today. But first I want to talk about something that happened the day before yesterday, and that is Lauren Boebert, the remarkably unremarkable woman, Lauren Boebert, who took to the stage and said this to rousing applause. Watch this.
We're here to tell government, we don't want your benefits, we don't want your welfare, don't come knocking on my door with your Fauci ouchie, you leave us the hell alone.
This is what passes for competency in the Republican Party. Bebopping across the stage. We don't want your Fauci ouchie. I'm assuming in reference to a proposal to send vaccination teams door to door to convince those who have yet to get the vaccine to get the vaccine. Considering that last week, 99.2% of all Americans who died of the coronavirus were unvaccinated. Fewer than 1% of the death toll last week were vaccinated people. It defies logic, which is odd coming from someone with an advanced degree in science, Lauren Boebert. No, I'm just kidding. She only graduated high school. Nope. She did not graduate high school. She dropped out of high school. But at least she got her GED right away. Now, that's not even true either. She got her GED in 2020. Yeah. Shocking that someone who is science illiterate, who has barely a high school education, is bebopping across the stage at CPAC, maligning the use of vaccines to curb a pandemic, the likes of which we haven't seen for a century. Shocking. Well, this moment created, well, first of all, let me just, here's the quote again. We're here to tell government, a woman who works for the government, she is the government, she's here to tell herself, we don't want your benefits. We don't want your welfare. Don't come knocking on my door with your Fauci ouchie. You leave us the hell alone. Where to begin? We don't want your benefits. Billions of dollars were given in PPP loans in Colorado. Millions and millions of dollars in the 3rd District of Colorado that she represents. Now, there is tweets that are going viral out there that she received PPP loan, that she got one. She did not. But that's not to her credit. She just didn't do it. If there hadn't been the stimulus and the PPP availability of that money, we would be in the greatest depression, economic depression, that the country's ever experienced. It was because of we the people banding together, we the people being the government, to help those in need. We should have done more. We did not do enough. So for her to malign benefits and welfare is just nonsense. It is political theater. And look how proud of herself she was. Ugh, just gross. So AOC tweeted this in response to this little video. Tell them loud and proud, girl. GOP will strip your unemployment protections and dismantle any semblance of a public safety net we have left. Then make working people pay more for everything on low wages while Wall Street gets a meal ticket. Good old conservative values, baby. Nothing AOC said there is untrue. That is exactly the goal, the stated objective of the Republican Party, which is to keep the working class down while giving away the store to Wall Street, while allowing billionaire after billionaire after billionaire, as I've talked about in recent videos, to not pay taxes year after year after year. A couple of years ago, I did a video about the 91 different massive corporations that didn't pay any income tax to the federal government. But they claim to be the party of the people, of American family values. Lauren Boebert did respond to AOC and said, oh, please, Sandy, ask Abuela how that government reliance is going, her AOC's sick grandma. Nobody is taking safety nets away. Growing up in a Democrat household, I stood in line for bread and government cheese. I want more for your grandma, just as I did for me. Don't limit the American dream. Interesting that Lauren Boebert, by the way, I also grew up on public assistance. Free lunch in school, food stamps, also the giant rectangular boxes of government cheese. I grew up with that. And it is interesting that she's maligning government benefits and welfare while having been a recipient of them as a child. Maybe, pray tell, it is because of your reliance on social benefit and safety net programs, Lauren Boebert, that you're here, that you're able to bebop across the stage like a moron because you didn't die from hunger as a child. That we, the people, stepped in to assist you in your time of need, only so you could grow up, not graduate high school, become a congresswoman, be the poster child for white privilege, and malign the very system that gave you a hand up, that allowed you to become who you are today. You didn't do it from grit. Let me tell you. You did it because the system is set up to make you who you are. Stupid white lady. And then AOC, just to bring this thing full circle, she replied and said, thank you for proving to the world that today's version of conservative role model is a person who mocks other people's ill grandparents on the internet. I can promise you I will treat your family better than you do mine, and I'll fight for your constituents more too, with a little, what I'm assuming to be a bye, waving hand emoji. This is the talent on display at CPAC. This is the Republican Party's stars on display. The Marjorie Taylor Greens, the Lauren Boeberts, the Donald Trumps. Because it's not about actually governing and ruling and creating a policy and a system that is going to better the lives of the American people. That's not what it's about for Republicans. It's about owning the libs and popping around on stage, waiting for your applause break while you malign social safety nets that lift people out of poverty. What is there to mock about that? The Fauci ouchie. You're shitting on science, which saved untold millions and millions and millions of lives. But you're a vaccine skeptic because you're a QAnon idiot? Ugh. Anyway, what do you think? I'd love to know. I'd love to hear from you. You can leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me a regular old-fashioned email at daily@dollemore.com. These are bizarre times, and they're only getting more peculiar. Follow me on social media. I'd love to connect with you there. If you are in a financial position to do so and you'd like to help produce my work, you'd like to help support my work here on the platform, you can click the join button below the video, check out the details, what it's about, become a YouTube channel member. If you're already on Patreon, you'd like to support me on Patreon. That's not just for my podcast, that's also for YouTube and the whole media operation here. You can go to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'll see you a little bit later talking about Donald Trump. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.